Here with our cleveland.com reactions to the Browns' 15-10 loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Doug Lesmerises with Ashley Bastock, Kay Cabot, Scott Patsko, and Dan Labbe. Dan, what are we taking away from this Browns loss?
That next week against Cincinnati is maybe a must-win game. I know not technically a must-win game, but you're 4-4 now. You're in last place in the division. Look, the Bengals did you a favor and lost today to the Jets of all teams, so that helps. But you really can't fall too far behind if you want to win the AFC North right now. And the Browns had an opportunity to beat a Steelers team that they should have beaten today, and they didn't do it. And now they're 4-4 in last place, and next week's game means a whole lot more than we thought it would at the beginning of the year.
Ashley, the Browns welcomed you to the beat with a disappointing loss. What does it mean?
Yeah, kind of going off of what Dan said there, and I think Baker Mayfield said it in his post-game press conference when he was asked to assess where this team is at. And he said, we're 4-4, we're a 500 team. And that's true. I mean, they look like a 500 team to me right now. And as you referenced, this was my first game, and not to steal your thunder, Doug, but some of the things that we've been talking about, like where was the big play in this game when this team needed it? Just really, in the immediate aftermath, it's not an obvious answer. So I will say that's my biggest takeaway. I'm going to have to agree with Baker Mayfield there.
Mary Kay, what do you think?
One of my biggest takeaways in this game is the fact that Baker Mayfield came into this game with an injured left shoulder. He was going to need a lot of help in every way to get through this game. And he got very, very little help from the people that he really needed it from, especially his skill players. And of course, we have to give, a lot of credit to the Steelers defense, but there were dropped passes. There were false starts. Jarvis Landry's fumble. It's one of the worst games I've ever seen Jarvis Landry play, basically, from start to finish. He did end up with 65 yards, which was a team high, but still, he had one of the false starts. He had 2 balls at the end he should have caught. He fumbled the ball away at a crucial moment, but it wasn't just him. Austin Hooper dropped a pass. Rashard Higgins had a false start, and I believe a dropped pass. Dearness Johnson had a drop. It just was not the kind of game Baker needed from his supporting cast. And I actually think that he put them in positions to win and did pretty well, all things considered.
Scott Patsko, what are you thinking?
When pretty much all you do is play close games, you can't be expected to win them all, and you're going to lose some that you shouldn't. And today was an example of that. They're in this stretch now where they had a bunch of games. They're in the middle of it, of these teams that they're supposed to beat, right? The Broncos, they were supposed to beat the Steelers, the Patriots, the Lions. And they won those kinds of games, even when they didn't particularly play well last season. They went 7-2 in one-score games. They won close games against the Eagles and Jaguars. They held out and got past the Steelers backups, in week 17. This year, they're 2-3 in those games. And this was the first one where you can point to it and say they really should have won that game. Like that team they just lost to should not have beat them. So the averages are kind of catching up with them. They have a lot of issues on offense they got to get through. But now as we look forward to some of these games coming up, maybe they're not as sure wins as we thought a few weeks ago.
And I'll say, connected to what Mary Kay said about the mistakes on offense, and then what Ashley said about the big plays, I'm not sure the Browns gained 5 yards that wasn't schemed. Nobody made a play like all the Browns are talking about. Pat Frymuth making that catch on 4th down in the end zone for the Steelers, a juggling catch. Ronnie Harrison has good coverage, but a guy still makes a play. There really wasn't a circumstance like that happened with the Browns. Yeah, Nick Chubb had a couple big runs, but there were big holes, right? Yeah, they had a couple big throws, but guys were wide open. Nobody broke a tackle and made a big run. Nobody, made a leaping catch. It was like they only took what was right there. And I do think sometimes at the best, the Browns are really efficient and do their job. But at some point, you have to do more than your job. And I thought on a day where a Steelers guy made kind of an extraordinary catch for the go-ahead score, I'm not sure a single Browns offensive player made an extraordinary play. And that is a hard way to try to win, because then it's all efficiency and then the drops do you in. All right, you guys can listen to more about our analysis from this game on the Orange and Brown Talk podcast. For now, for Dan, Ashley, Mary Kay, and Scott, I'm Doug. Thanks for watching.